What's up, E.D.G family? Kevin here, and today we're going to be talking about 2023 so far. About halfway through, a little over halfway through. I was trying to get this out last week, but I'll tell you right now, this summer has been very, it's been crazy a little bit. A lot of stuff going on. Definitely off schedule. Definitely hoping to get back to my schedule once school starts back up, but it is what it is. We'll be doing a tasting as we're talking about games of 2023. I have a Left Hand Brewing Company key lime pie, and it's on Nitro. So you know what that means. Stick around, we'll talk about it. But I kind of want to talk about what games have hit for me this year. And then I kind of also want to do a Q3 preview. I got at least 4 games that I expect to be here July, August, September timeframe. So I want to talk about those and get to it. All right, so normally I open these off camera just to pour them. Takes a little less time, but I will say, this being a Nitro, I don't know if I've done a Nitro on the channel, so I will let you guys know that this is a different experience altogether. It makes a very, very interesting sound. I believe there's a little cartridge at the bottom of the can. I think I taken one of these apart, but it is very smooth. So anything sharp, kind of like it's saying it's a sour. I'm not the biggest fan all the time of sours, mainly because heartburn, to be completely honest. So I don't do a lot of sours. I do like them, but this one's a lot milder. So I did decide to do this. It's kind of like my, let's say, my summer beer. It's July, so I do want to talk about what games I've been playing this year, what has been hitting. So I usually track these on a completely different element than how I do the rest of my games. I keep plays limited to just plays from this year. A lot of these games are going to be games that aren't necessarily came out this year. Some of them may have turned the corner with us in 2022 and, you know, got quite a few plays early on. There's going to be games that are not even close to being 2023 games, you know, a couple years old that I just picked up, got some plays on. So we'll be talking about those too. They're all in the running for obviously being my game of 2023. That's why we're talking about it. And then we'll talk about the games that still are yet to come. Some ones that could easily get a spot on this list. I'm going to let this sit for just a minute. But it does have very creamy, slight lime notes to that. But let's go ahead and get these pulled up. So the first game I want to talk about is a game that I've actually talked about quite a bit recently. Planet Unknown. It's currently crowdfunding a reprint and expansion at the time of this video. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out. I have a couple plays up on this, but I will say, fantastic polyomino game. I like it solo. I like it at pretty much any player account with its simultaneous play, but it's a fantastic polyomino. There's a lot of variety in the game. And that kind of feeds into the solo system quite a bit because you can mix and match planets, always giving yourself a different puzzle. But this one's actually currently at 15 for right now. And I decided to pick up a few extras past the top 10, and we'll talk about those as we go on. But I don't necessarily see this cracking my top 10 this year. It did crack it last year, but I bet it stays, you know, somewhere in those teens for me. Fantastic game, though. Like to get it to the table more, especially at higher player counts, just to see, you know, where it really, really shines. A lot of games are a struggle to get to the table at a 6-player count. But yeah, Planet Unknown, currently at 15 in 2023. And we will talk about Binho. So Binho's kind of been my game of the summer thus far. Very quick to get in, a couple games on. My daughter likes to play it quite a bit. Games can last anywhere between like 5 and 15 minutes. Very simple. You're flicking. You're trying to score goals just like you would in table soccer. So, like I said, super easy, fun game to get. I think I might upgrade my board eventually. I do have a video of some Binho on the channel, so new to you, check it out. This one's sitting at 14. It's 6th in plays right now. I'm not gonna go super into the metrics, but I will say it's 6th in plays for this year. Why it's at 14. Boards can be a little bit pricey for what they are, but generally very, very good craftsmanship on those. So definitely, if you're interested in something like that, check it out. Very cool U.S. company that puts those together. Hopefully looking to do some more with them in the future. But let's talk about my number 13. Number 13, 11. Game I had earlier on. It just it hasn't really completely hit for me yet. I think I need to get into the solo scenarios and just kind of get through them, play them out a few times. Hasn't been a shiner as far as trying to get to the table with too many people. I will say it is 8th in value. How I determine value on my list is time, how much time I've spent playing that game divided by the cost of the game. So it's not doing too bad as far as value goes, but it does take usually about 2 hours to get through a game. So keep that in mind. But yeah, 13 at the moment is 11. I'm not sure this is gonna crack my top 10. It's gonna need some love, some time at the table for that, and we got a lot of things to come. So we'll see if that happens. Going into number 12, trying to speed through these first 5, is some Burncycle. I don't want to talk too much about this, mainly because we do have more Burncycle content coming in to the channel to check out. We'll do unboxings, hopefully get some plays. That's my goal once this Burncycle content comes in, is we will have some Burncycle playthroughs up. I do fully expect this one to probably crack my top 10, to be completely honest. It's, like I said, sitting at number 12, more love to come. We'll talk about that shortly. Going on to 11. Oh man, that's good. It's got some coconut, vanilla. Oh my god, we'll talk about this in a second. Going to number 11, Crokinole. First in plays right now. Not surprised. Played it quite a bit in May, a little bit this month. But yeah, I like some Crokinole. So I don't necessarily know where this is going to land for me. It kind of depends on where everything else performs. Value, obviously, very hard to justify a Crokinole board's value in a year. But very, very fun. Gets a lot of plays. I like playing, 2-player, 4-player, whatever. Definitely got some Crokinole videos, so definitely check those out. But I will say, it'll be tough. This thing could easily sneak into the top 10. It didn't last year, which is when I got the board. I do believe we're probably almost as many plays as we were last year, which isn't really a surprise. But I will say, I could see this sneaking in. It might not, but I could see it sneaking in. And that should get us to number 10. Why is that at 5? We'll just have to see what's going on here. What is going on here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're going to number 10 now. We'll spend a little more time on these. So, Moonrakers Titan. Unboxed it a little over a month ago. I've got to play up. I have played it a few times. I do think Titan is a fantastic addition to Moonrakers. I think it is exactly what I needed to happen with Moonrakers, to keep it fresh, keep it entertaining. I'm enjoying it. I don't know if this will. It's in at number 10. I don't know if it'll stay. It is my 8th on as much time as I've spent playing it right now. It's sitting at 8th. That's why it's on the list. I don't know. It's a wild card at this point, I would say. But I don't see it probably going up too high. Not that it's a bad game. There's just a lot of other games that are easier to get to the table. Number 9, though. Number 9 is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition Crisis Expansion. Really, really like this one. I've definitely played the Crisis Expansion a few times already now. I could see this one also just being on that cusp. It is currently 5th in value, but Ares Expedition, not too pricey of a game. Crisis Expansion wasn't too terrible of an add-on. I do like it. I think as far as playing solo, I might just stick to. I don't know what I'll do with it. I guarantee I'll probably still play a couple games of just standard Crisis. Ares Expedition solo as well. But we'll see what happens with this one. Like I said, this one's sitting at number 9. Number 8 is an old one, though. Number 8's an older one. Gaia Project. Just picked this one up late last year. Really, really like it. Anybody that has it knows it is, it's a little bit of a table hog. It is, more cumbersome to table than some of these other games, but I do enjoy it. I'm liking all of the asymmetry as far as the factions go. I like the strategy. Huge fan of how the game plays. Like I said, it's one of those games that's hard just to get play when I have so much other stuff to table right now. But I can see this one probably sitting just right outside my top 10 by the end of the year. Like I said, I don't see it getting tabled quite enough to make it a game of the year for 2023. Now, game of the year, I mean, not game of the year, but overall game, completely different one. I see this being a slow climb up my collection, and I see it finding a spot, somewhere at the top, maybe in the top 10. We'll see. But I do like some Gaia Projects. I think I do have a insert video for the folded space insert on here, but I don't have too much Gaia Project as of yet. Going on to number 7, no surprise here, maybe just that it's this low. Final Girl, well, it's not surprising, and I don't see this sitting at 7. It's got nowhere to go but up from here. Still have quite a few things to play, quite a few playthroughs to do. So I could definitely see that one jumping up. Definitely probably being in the top 5. I would almost guarantee all the hype for Season 3. I guarantee you I'm going to be playing a lot more Final Girl around that campaign than I would have before they announced it. So yeah, Final Girl, really still enjoying it. Need to get a few more plays. Need to explore a few more of the killers. But I definitely see this being in the top 5. It's currently second in place, right behind Crokinole. So keep that in mind. Going on to number 6, we're talking Distilled. I have a playthrough, an unboxing up of Distilled. I really do like this one. I played it quite a few times solo. I played it a couple times at 2-player. Very good. Theme really works for me, so I enjoy that. But I think the mechanics of this game are finely tuned. This is Distilled coming in the same year as 11 is what definitely is hurting getting 11 to the table. I can just get Distilled to the table a lot quicker, and it feels... It's not the same game, thematically, mechanically, but there's some feels that make me just... If I had to pick between the two right now, I'd have to go with Distilled. But yeah, let's sit at what, number 6 is what I said. 5th on time. It's not a quick game, but 90 minutes to probably 2 hours. I'm going to talk about this real quick. So yeah, this has got some lime, vanilla, cinnamon in it. If I didn't mention it before, this is from Left Hand Brewing. I said key lime, pie nitro. I'm not a huge fan of sours, so anytime I can find one that's mellowed down a little bit, I do like to grab these. But very refreshing summer beer, for sure. All right, so we are going into number 5. Another game that I have a little bit of content this year on. Astro Knights. Astro Knights, I am still playing. I still am constantly comparing it to Aeon's End, so I don't know yet. I did back Eternity. I do want the campaign play. I think that is going to be what changes my opinion as far as which one I lean towards in the future. But loving some Astro Knights. I might pick up the expansion for the original before the end of the year. We'll see what happens. But I do like it. Very easy to get to the table. And what's going on with this one? It is third in value. Like I said, not too pricey of a game. Usually can get a game in about an hour, maybe a little bit more, depending on player count. But yeah, number 5 is Astro Knights. Going on to number 4, though. Number 4 is an older game, Star Trek Ascendancy. This was a game I picked up late last year. I have been messing a little bit with trying to house rule some Borg. What is it? Borg. I can't even remember what the name of the expansion is. Borg something. Anyways, it's the solo / cooperative expansion for Star Trek Ascendancy. Still trying to house rule some of that stuff, but I did pick it up on TTS to try to get more plays in on it. But I do like this. I don't see this being in my top 10 by the end of the year, especially at number 4. It's just a really long game. It's second in time right now because it takes about 3 hours to play. So that's kind of what's up there with that right now. Like I said, don't see this being on the end of the list towards the end of the year, but do like the Star Trek Ascendancy quite a bit. Can't wait to play that a little bit more in the future with some buddies. But we're going to go in to number 3. Yep. No surprise here. Too Many Bones, Unbreakable. Now, I will say Too Many Bones did not make my list last year. It was the first year it hadn't. I always picked up something new. It's always been able to justify the cost of the game with the amount of plays I get in. But Too Many Bones Unbreakable is almost guaranteed to be on this list. Top 3. I don't see this guy going down. I don't. So I see the only issue I could see is if I decided I want to pick up some more stuff later in the year. But I honestly don't think I'm going to do that either. I've hardly got into Rage of Tyranny. Hardly got into Waves. Got a lot of stuff to explore. So Too Many Bones Unbreakable. Tons of playthroughs. Unboxings up. You guys know how much I like it. So I would definitely see this being in my top 3 at the end of 2023. Going to number 2, though, is kind of my dark horse, Solar Sphere. It's a solid game. It's first in value right now. It's not an expensive game. It's very good mechanically. I don't have too many dice placement games. So I will say, this guy could easily stick around. I don't necessarily think it'll be in the top 3. But I definitely could see this being on the list at the end of the year. Like I said, especially for something that I didn't really have on my radar until I believe it was fulfilling crowdfunding, and then I pre-ordered it. So very, very solid game. I definitely have a few more plays left in this one this year. But if you haven't checked that one out, I recommend it. I think it's a fantastic game for the price point. It's got a very medium to heavy feel on it, but very approachable with the dice placement. So that's number 2. That's Solar Sphere. And then let's talk about the number 1. The number 1's kind of getting a laugh compared to what everything else has been on here. Number 1 currently is Wreckland Run. I honestly will say I don't expect this to be my number 1 towards the end of this year. If you follow any of the channel, we do have quite a few playthroughs of Wreckland Run. I have played quite a bit, especially towards the beginning of the year. Quite a bit of the Wreckland Run game. I haven't even gotten into the expansion yet. So I do see myself playing this throughout the year, but I don't think there's quite enough hype on it now to maybe continue the amount of plays I got in the first quarter. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I would be honestly surprised to even see it on the top 10 list at the end of the year, but it's got a good head start. So we'll see what happens with that. It's 4th in plays, 2nd on value for me right now for the year. So Wreckland Run. All right, I'm gonna enjoy this, and I'll get you a little bit of lead in. So I want to talk about what I have coming in July, August, September. These are all games that will impact this list. They are all fantastic games. I think most of them are pretty good publishers, and a lot of them have other content out. So you'll see what I'm talking about. None of them are, like I said, anything too obscure. So I could definitely see all 4 of these impacting this list. And we'll talk about them as we go. So good. So good. Okay. Let's talk about the first one. Race to the Raft. Completely honest, I expect to be unboxing this one in the next 4 to 5 days. So we will have an unboxing for that really, really soon. Probably followed by some playthroughs in the next month. We'll get some playthroughs out in July for sure. This is a polyomino game by the same developer as the Isle of Cats, Frank West. Fantastic crowdfunding campaign if you haven't picked that up from me by now. But this is for pre-order now. Did get the cat miniatures for it. So we will have a good unboxing, and then we will have a lot of polyomino puzzles to figure out. This is a cooperative game, limited communication, so it'll be a little different with the solo. But very, very cool. Basically trying to rescue cats, get them off the island, playing cards to create a path as you are drawing fire tiles and trying to make them not impact your strategy to get them off. Really looking forward to this. I could easily see it sneaking on. I bet it's going to be close, but I could see this being towards the bottom of my top 10 or just on that 11, 12, 13. We'll see what happens, but very excited for this one. The next one coming in after that, I believe, will be 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games. So this one is a solo-only game, meaning it's going to get played quite a bit. I guarantee this impacts the list. I mean, there's no way it doesn't. I could easily see this being on the top 10. I know a little bit about how Solar Sentinels plays, which is what the base game is, but we got a Too Many Bones deck, a Hoplon Marcus deck. They play differently. So it's kind of like we're getting 3 games in one. Relatively good price on it too. So I would not be surprised to see this really make waves on what happens with my top game of 2023 later on in the year. I think this one's probably just now finishing up printing. They were talking about needing some things adjusted, and then they would get this shipped. So we'll see what happens. The next one is, as I alluded to, Burncycle New Recruits and Series reprint. I'm not really sure. I bet this is going to be August. But yeah, more Burncycle content. We will unbox it, and hopefully I will play it, because I really want to play this for you guys. I'm a huge fan of Burncycle. I do not have any content. I've talked about it quite a bit. No content on Burncycle, so this is going to give me a platform to hopefully show off some Burncycle, get some plays. Like I said, I think this game is cleverly done to a point where it was a miss for me before I played it, before I saw it played, and then I was like, okay, this is some good stuff. So very excited to be getting that. And then to finish out that Q3 preview, we should have Unsettled by Orange Nebula. So we got plenty of Unsettled. I don't have it all coming, but we have quite a bit. I think at least 2 of the brand new planets, most of the old ones, and then I think I got the specialization box. I'm thinking August. For this one. This one probably may slip into August delivery, September content-wise, but we'll see what happens. Anything else, I'm not really too... I don't see anything else probably hitting in Q3. I got, I think, 4 more for Q4. I'll mention those towards the end. But yeah, Unsettled. Anybody that's played this one, let me know what I'm in for, because I am excited to bring some Unsettled. This game was super hyped when it crowdfunded the second time, and I have been looking forward to it for quite some time. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I have Q3-wise. So hopefully that's a good heads up to what to expect in the next couple of months. We'll have, like I said, as hopefully the summer picks back up, but even as I've kind of lulled into the ease, it hasn't been easy. It's been a little difficult, but as we get through summer, these are going to be the highlights. I wanted you guys all to know about them. So yeah, I'm going to finish this up, and we'll talk a little bit about what's Q4. So, I mean, if you haven't seen what I have outstanding crowdfunding, there's an outstanding crowdfunding video. I'll link it just because it kind of gives you a heads up of everything that's coming at this moment. I don't think it has, it won't have the new Planet Unknown crowdfunding campaign, this obviously. But Q4, these are ones that I could see, there's a possibility they could sneak into September. We'll just put it that way. I don't think they will, but I'll mention them just in case. So we got Title Blades Part 2, probably the biggest out of the 4. Title Blades Part 2, we'll have minis, we'll have campaign play. I am excited to get some Title Blades 2 Part 2 to the table. Then we have Iron Forest, another one I'm super excited about. It's a dexterity game. It'll bring its own set of challenges as far as showing that game's off for you guys, but I am really excited about Iron Forest. It's by the creators of Ice Cool, if you missed that one. And then we got 2 other ones that are, one of them by a indie publisher, Citrus. Super excited to get this one out. I think this one mechanically just has some really cool elements going on that I've heard just really meld really well together. Some area control, worker placement, tableau building, some very cool stuff set in like a cyberpunk universe. And then the last one is Paradox Initiative by Elf Creek Games. Got quite a bit of, I think that copy's pretty deluxe out, so hopefully when we get that, we'll see some cool stuff. But that's pretty much, I think, going to wrap it up for me. If you didn't catch it, this thing's fantastic. So if you get Left Hand Brewing in your area, definitely check out these. I will say, if you've never tried a Nitro, this would be a good one to try. But like I said, that is pretty much going to wrap up this, Q2 wrap up, Q3 preview, whatever you want to call it. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Much love.